As we embark on a playoff run this weekend, we're always happy to be joined by the head coach of the Avalanche, Jared Bednar, joins us on the Ramos Law Hotline. Car accident, need Ramos Law, medical doctor and attorney, ramoslaw.com. Coach, thank you as always for the time. How do you balance with this long of a break between the end of the regular season, start of the postseason, hey, I'm going to take some time to just relax and go do a couple things, and I need to get in playoff mode. What's that balance right now?
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy because even there's some stretches during the season that you get in these breaks and you got to find a way to manage your time. So for us, it's mostly coaches, especially mostly prep here to get ready and we'll get on the ice. We had an optional practice yesterday. We gave the guys a little bit of a break the day before, and then today we're going to hit the ice as a group, have a really good practice, and start our meetings. So coaches have been grinding, getting the pertinent information ready that we can share with the team, and we'll start that process today and still give them another day of rest here before we get going, which looks like Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday is the day. So how do you ramp up exercise? How do you ramp up practice? Because the last week has been tough. You've been in this idle position just waiting. Does it start now? Have you been going at the Dallas Stars for a couple weeks now? Have you been scouting them?
Yeah, we've been watching their stuff for a little bit and really dug into a lot of the numbers and figuring out they do well and what some of their weaknesses are the last couple days, and we'll present some of that to our team today. And then there's lots of meetings to do when it comes to power play, penalty kill, empty net situation, 6-on-5 and 5-on-6, and then all the 5-on-5 stuff as well. So there's a bunch of meetings. We're just going to spread them out over the week, give them the information, and then do a quick refresher on Saturday so they're ready to go. But we've looked at it, so now we can make sure we're practicing some of the right things going into today's practice and Friday's practice. We'll probably focus more on special teams and still give them a rest here on Thursday. But, yeah, our guys are super disciplined with their off-ice training, and guys have been in on their off days and working out, making sure that they're going to be ready as an individual. And the whole team was in yesterday, and like I said, today will be a really good skate and a good practice start gearing up for Saturday.
Coach, as a Sasky guy, I know you like the rodeo and the cowboy stuff a little bit there. I can imagine that a lot of your guys, maybe all your guys, especially 29, they're like the bull in the in the chute, right? When the rider's getting on them, they're banging their head against the gate, right? And they're like, "Let me out! I want to go! I want to go!" I can't even imagine what these guys are going to be like when they hit the ice for real. I'm probably going to be shot out of a cannon.
I would think so. I think we'll be fired up for this. I think it's just managing that emotions and making sure you're getting your rest and still putting the work in that you need to feel at your absolute best come Saturday. And, we're all the individuals and strength coaches are talking, and, we'll take care of what we need to do on the ice and give them that information so that everything gets clear in their head. They still have a few days to come to us with questions, and if they want more detail on things and if they have any questions, we'll be able to answer them for them. And, yeah, it's really just kind of a slow burn getting ready for Saturday. And as the week goes on, the players will be ramping up emotionally to get ready for the puck drop. And today will really help with that. I think getting out and having a really good practice today. Our guys are rested and eager to get on the ice. Yesterday was optional, and almost the whole team went out there and did some work and making sure they're sharp for today. So I like the way the week's going so far, and we got a lot of information to give them, and they'll have time to digest it and think on it. And but the energy side of it, you don't want to peak too early here. It's a little bit of a slow burn getting ready for Saturday.
Coach, I apologize. I've asked you a question for about 2.5 years now, and I want to ask it in a different way. It's not how is Landy feeling. It's what's going to be the plan with Landy this postseason.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet. We're hoping here everything goes good this week. I mean, he was on the ice again yesterday after playing 2 games on the weekend, so that's a really good sign. And, we've had this week will be good for us, too, because of all the injuries that we've had and guys trying to get over things and get feeling at their best. But we are hoping, and it's looking like we could have everybody available to us for Game 1 in Dallas. That's
Wow.
that's the hope that we have. We have options in all positions here, and that we're able to choose a lineup that gets it done, and we just kind of go from there after Game 1, see how everyone's feeling.
So what was your reaction after watching, or clearly you weren't there, but you may have seen tape, both games by Landy for the Eagles? Were you surprised he was able to play in both games? Were you impressed with the way he played? What was your evaluation of his game there?
Yeah, I was. I think we watched the first game in its entirety, and it looked like just an unbelievable evening. I know he was really excited. I talked to the coaching staff down there. As you would expect, he was incredible with the players down there, sharing his knowledge, and them getting to see his preparation for his first game back was a pretty special moment for the organization, and the fans came out to support him incredibly well. Our players were there, management, the whole deal. Of course, we were out in L.A. and Anaheim, so we had to watch it from afar, but it seemed like it was a great night, a great event, and more importantly for us and for Landy is things went well in Game 1. He played more than he was planning on playing and played pretty well. And then I think he probably played better in Game 2. It looked like he was a little bit more involved and a little bit more comfortable, and that's the thing. He's been out for a long time, but the pace of his game seemed to pick up a little bit in Game 2, and he made an impact on the score sheet, and as well as in a bunch of other areas of the game and in the room. And so I think just total success from the weekend. And then, like I said, equally as important is he came out of a back-to-back, which I was a little surprised that he was able to do and wanted to do that, but felt really good after Game 1 and went in Game 2 and then was still on the ice yesterday. So things seem to be moving forward here.
How cool was it for that kid, for I guess Henderson, to get put in a headlock by Landeskog and then have his face washed, right? And he won't let him go, and he's giving him the business a little bit. And the ref goes, "Hey, man, leave him alone," or put him down, or whatever it is. The kid looks up like, I would get on the phone, coach, and call, "Hey, Gabe Landeskog put me in a headlock tonight, man. It was awesome."
Yeah, I think that he was, as you'd expect in this game, he was getting a lot of back slaps from the guys on the other side too. I think it's a well-known story now, and everyone's happy that he's back. You see a guy go through what he's gone through, and to get to this point where he's nearing a return, I think it's pretty exciting and inspiring for everyone that's watching it, especially the guys closest to him, and the guys on our team, I think, are really looking forward to getting him back in the lineup here.
Yeah, and Coach, if you could expand on that, I always tell the guys it's more than just what he can bring on the ice as a power forward. It's everything off the ice, too, that he brings that makes his value so huge. Could you just touch on that a little bit, what Gabe Landeskog means to the room and really kind of to the organization in that role?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard even to describe. He's like a father figure, but also one of the guys, and he's just got a wealth of knowledge. It's just the way he carries himself and the aura around him as a leader, and he's an extension of the coaching staff while still being one of the hardest competitors with the jersey on, right? So he's earned a tremendous amount of respect, and so his voice in the room and the calming presence of everything that he brings to the locker room on a nightly basis is unmeasurable. I think making some of these lineup decisions and talking with Landy like that, you have to take that into consideration as a coach. I think the most important thing is what's he going to be able to do on the ice at game speed at NHL at the toughest time of the year, and then what he provides to the room, and just how does it all shake out, because it looks like we got, hopefully we'll have 15 healthy bodies up front here, and we'll have to choose a lineup of 12 on a nightly basis, but it's certainly good to have him back in the mix here.
I want to ask you about that, Coach. If you're going in, hopefully, fingers crossed, fully healthy to Game 1, I know that there was sort of a rotation on the back end with, EJ would get a game here and there, and then Miles would rotate in with some guys in the forward group. Are you going to have what you feel like is kind of a set number of guys that are playing, or will there be still a rotation in the postseason?
No, we're going to play what we feel like is our best lineup to beat Dallas on a nightly basis. So there won't be a rotation. It'll be based on guys' play and and how their health is. That's usually the two things that you consider. And what does everyone bring to the table? How do we deploy them? How are they playing against the matchups that we want to look for in Dallas and that they want to look for on the road, because they control it, and see how it goes, and we make our adjustments from there.
Considering your goalies don't have the playoff pedigree, have you thought about that rotation? How are you going to use them? Is it going to be just a hot hand? What have you thought about with the goalies?
Yeah, for sure. You Blackwood is our starter, and he's the guy that we brought in to lean on, and Wedge has played incredible, so we certainly feel comfortable with both guys. And so, we pick our starter for game one and go from there. It's the same as the rest of the lineup. This is the time of year where, regardless of what you did in the regular season, like that is to sort of establish your role on the team, and the lines will be set up accordingly, and how we want to deploy our guys, and then you got to go and perform. This is about performing our best for 2 weeks to beat Dallas, and then we'll reset and go again, or you're going home. So there's really no time to sort of play around, right? We need our guys at their best and playing their best, and against the matchups that either Dallas wants in their building, and we can move them around a little bit, or what we want at home, and you got to go get the job done.
Hey, we're dying to find out, Coach. Have you gotten any hints what time you're going to play on Saturday?
No idea.
No.
Yeah.
Why don't you get on his butt, Vic? You're the coach of the team. How would you not know?
Well, you should know, Coach.
Yeah, you'd think we'd know soon here, but it's all based on TV, so they'll get a schedule here and sort it out as everything kind of moves forward this week and the regular season finishes up.
Oh my God, he yelled at me on Monday so bad. Coach.
Well, because Coach Mosier represents TV, right? He's TV. So you just said it's all on TV. So I blame the guy that represents TV, and that's Mosier.
I reckon.
Yeah,
hey, go ahead, Coach.
He'll know before me.
Yeah, hopefully. Hey, we went through the lineup that you had in Game 6 last year against Dallas the other day. And then I look at your team now, and I'm like, whoa, this team is do you ever, when you're, making out, mock lineups, do you ever look at your team right now, especially if you have, knock on your wood, all healthy guys available and that sort of thing, and go, damn, it's pretty good lineup. And I know Dallas has an awesome lineup too, but you're going in as one of the heavyweights, Coach. I mean, it's a pretty darn good team.
Yeah, we're excited. There's no question. I mean, you look at our lineup even just from game one this year, and in the first 10 games with all the guys that we had out with injury, and then you look at the additions we have. We got 8-9 new guys through the course of the year, and they're all in key positions, and we like the structure of our team right now, and we like the way we played down the stretch. So we feel good about our team. You're always a little bit worried, kind of like a parent, you're going into it, and because you're playing another team that's a 100-plus point team that's one of the tops in the league, and also been playing really good since the trade deadline and some of the additions that they have. But it's this is the new NHL, right? You're going to play a really good opponent in your division right away, especially in our division. I think the league likes it that way. They're looking at long series, great TV ratings, and you got sort of two heavyweights going at it in the first round. It's not ideal for us, but the road is kind of set for us, and who will have to play, and it's up to us to just focus on what we control, and that's playing our best hockey at the right time.
As much as you're going up against a heavyweight just right out of the gates, is it motivating that you're playing against the team that knocked you guys out last year?
Yeah, I think it should be in the back of your mind, right? It should help build the rivalry, and it's something you think about. We know even at the start of the year that you're going to have to, go through Dallas and Winnipeg. They're both top teams in the league right now, and they're in our division, so you're going to face them lots in the regular season, and you're going to have to be able to, beat the best to be the best. And, so you regardless of who you draw, the first round is always tough, so going after a big opponent right away in their building is something that should excite our team. We've been playing all year to get our game in order to the point where we feel really good about it. And regardless of who we play, the focus has to somewhat still be on our team and what we need to do to have success and what has given us success all year. And it changes a little bit with the nuances of the way Dallas plays, but like I said, it's still about being highly competitive and getting the pace of our game going and giving them all they can handle at the other end.
Really important question here before I'm done. Every time the Avs have a postseason opponent, Vic picks out a face on the other team and says, I don't like that guy's face. Mm-hmm. And then that guy becomes the face that nobody likes on this show. And not to name names, Coach, but do you ever look around the league and go, man, I can't stand that guy's face? Do you ever do that as a player, as a coach?
There's lots of guys, as a player all the time. As a coach, there's a lot of guys I think that you respect what they do, how difficult they are to either defend or play against on a nightly basis. Just guys that are really involved physically, and you kind of watch it and you hate to play against them because they're going to make an impact in the game. But then you look at it from the other side and you're like, geez, I'd like to have that guy on our team. He always plays really good against us, and so there's a lot of those guys in Dallas. Like we've had our battles against Dallas, over the last few years, and they're a good team. And there's no question one of the best in the league, and they find a way to win all the time. And this is going to be a real good challenge for us. But, again, we're excited about it. We like where our team is at and looking forward to this one.
I'm super happy that you as well judge people and players by their faces. We all do it. I do have to ask you, Coach, was it not Dallas last year where you showed up and right behind you on the glass sat that fan dressed up as Jared Bednar? Exact same outfit you had. Was it not Dallas?
Yeah, it was Dallas.
So do you think that guy's going to – do you expect to see him again? Your twin – I mean, he
find
shows
a crazy
up dressed as Bednar.
Something he can't have in the closet. You got to find something he doesn't have.
Yeah, I'll have to bring a couple change of suits so he can't hit the matchup quite good.
Well, consider that flattering, man. If that guy's going to go to those lengths to dress as Jared Bednar, that is a flattering depiction of the coach right there.
I'll take it. He was a good-looking gentleman.
Head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar, joins us every single Wednesday. Coach, good luck this weekend, and we'll talk next week.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Jared Bednar, head coach of the Avs, as they start their playoffs from what he thinks this Saturday. Don't know the time, but all conversations with the coach brought to you by Quantum Fiber. Internet that's everything you imagine and then some. Visit quantumfiber.com.
Hey, Vic, can you tell that he's getting that playoff mode? Can you tell?
It's clicking, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's firing.
Yes.
The synapses are firing.
Absolutely.
But Moshe, one more question about that fan. So he had the same exact tie,
I know,
jacket.
I know.
How do you do that?
It
knowing
had to be
what
an
the
inside
coach is going
job.
to wear.
It had to be an inside job somehow.
Like somebody on the Avs staff informing this fan what coach is wearing?
Somebody saw him in the arena, maybe on the way in, but he gets there early. I don't know, but it had to be an inside job. That wasn't a coincidence. It couldn't have been.
Well, no, it was everything matched. There's no way.
So it had to be somebody
in the arena.
Yeah,
saw him earlier, maybe took a picture or something,
and then says, "Okay, this is what he's wearing."
Yeah, here you go. Go find the brown tie, and
you don't have much time. You got to go buy that. The wardrobe.
You probably just have a variety of different color ties, and you
take them out the trunk. It's like next year wig collection.
Maybe that guy was a plant. Like maybe the Stars put that guy behind the Avs bench.
I do know there's teams that have done that.